We're here at YCS Anaheim 2024 with top 32 contestant. Please introduce yourself to the world.
Hi, I'm Tony Confletti, and I topped the YCS today with Memento.
What made you decide to use this deck?
A little bit of testing I was doing against the new decks. Like I felt like Fire just dies to a lot of cards, and other decks just die to the Mulchummy cards, and this deck can play around most of the high impact hand traps very well, like the Mulchummies and the Drolls. It does lose the Shifter, and then in testing I realized it had a really good Rizio matchup, so that's why I chose to play it.
Okay, what happened in top 32?
Top 32, I actually played the guy I beat round 11, and I won the roll, and I bricked on hand traps, and then when I tried to fool him, he thought, so I didn't shock on the second one, and then I used the second one after he summoned Sword, and then he talents my Baylor, crossed out my Ash, and then I didn't draw any more hand traps out the couple draws, to stop the OTK. And then game 2, I only had one starter, he impermed it, I had triple hand trap, and then I got my turn back, and I just didn't draw Memento name. It's the risk of playing the deck sometimes.
Yeah.
I was scared of bricking because I haven't bricked since game 1, round 3, so I thought it was due, and it unfortunately happened.
Okay. Well, before we start the deck profile, any shouts?
Shout out to my locals Curio and Froggy, Stephen Logan, who has been playing this deck, and he kind of taught me how to play it, and I'm glad he did. And then shout out Edward Kim. He's the one who told me about the good matchup with Rizio, and since I was playing this deck already at locals, he said you should play this over Fire. So
okay, sweet. Without further ado, please show us the top 32 group.
Sure. Start off with the best starter, because with the dodge cards in this deck, you can dodge and still add. Some people play 3, but I brick on normal summons a lot because and I play 2 goblins, so you don't want to brick on too many of these. And then the extender of the horse, if you control no Memento, you summon it, and then it just gets you into all your extenders that you go in the grave that trigger. And then oh, I'm sorry, I thought this was on top. For the 2 goblin as another extender, so you for the goblin spell as well. And then all the 1-ofs, you have Gaddock, Sheeply, Mace, Akihiron, Trihorn, and the Combination King. So you have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, technically 11 1-card starters in the deck, and then obviously a couple bricks, but these guys are really good. This guy lets you attack directly and add all your resources back and all of that.
Nice.
And then for the spells, the best card, like Bone Party, is just crazy. It lets you dodge Veiler Imperm, or you just don't, and then you keep playing through. I play 2 fusion. You don't always want to brick on it. Like, it feels bad sometimes when you only open all normal summons or only all monsters. You're like, man, I wish I had the 3rd fusion for consistency, but you actually brick on it more because you only can use it once per turn. And then the honorary field spell, and then 3 more extenders because you play 2 goblin for this. This also lets you dodge hand traps because you distribute a monster, and you can summon the goblin from the Memento Goblin because it's a goblin monster, and you just have to summon a goblin. And it was fun because one time I got Pareliad, and this was my only way of playing. So I actually set a hand trap, he didn't get the draw, and then I used this, and then I full comboed and then give him a draw. Yeah, so it's interesting because the deck can just play around all the hand traps based on what your hand is. One guy double Pareliad me, and he hand looped himself. I made the whole board, and I didn't give him a draw. So sometimes you do have to give him 1 or 2 draws based on what your hand is. And then I didn't play any like extra cards or anything. I cut the trap cards because Rizio and all these other cards, I just want hand traps. So I main deck 3 Fua, 3 Veiler, 3 Ash, 3 Imperm, and then I played 2 Nib, 1 Ogre, and 1 Mourner. The 2 Nib was because you don't want to brick on this because it only works if you draw both with these, right? And sometimes you don't get to Nib them because if you double hand trap it with this, like Nib's dead. The 1 Ogre is just good. Deception, Rizio card, like you can hit Duo Drive, just like that, and you know, sometimes you could Ogre other cards. And then I was struggling with siding patterns, and I know you should play 40, and if you notice, like, to play more hand traps, I had to cut Prosperity, Rhoda, like, consistent cards, and I didn't want to play 41, but siding was, like, really hard because of the side deck card. So I played the 1 Mourner because Snake Eyes can be sometimes iffy, and just another, like, Veiler or Imperm, and help with siding a lot. For the extra deck, play 3 Creation King.
What's the main deck count, by the way?
Oh, 41, sorry.
41
yeah, this was the extra 41th card for siding. Because you want to play 40 because it's a fusion deck, so you technically need names.
Yeah.
And that's how I lost in top 32. You play 3 Creation King, you can't play 2, because you always make the first one, you send 1 to search the field spell, and then say you can't get this guy back in the grave or rotation, and like they interact with you, you need to be able to summon a 3rd one from the extra deck with Sheeply. Like, that's what happened, where I summoned 1, sent this, he Ultimate Slayered this, and then I just went use Bone Party, get Sheeply made this, and then he couldn't out it. 2 of this guy. Usually you only need 1, but sometimes either like Unicorn or Weirdly, where they hand trap you and 1 stuck in the grave, you won't need to have another name to make with just 2 names. And then the honorary one is Garden Chimera. You used to not make it too much, but nowadays with Rizual you make it a lot, because you go like pop 2 with this when they make 2 4s. Then you can go like the Bone Party into the Trihorn, because this is like a Icarus attack. If it leaves the field, you can target a Memento. You control 2 cards. They control pop. I side the trap card to pop 2 more, and then somehow if they still put 2 4s on the field, you make this and then pop the last 2, and they're out of monsters. And then one of this Herald. You make this because you make with Goblin and Gaddock. Or you use Mace into this and Selene to make this. When you're scared of like spells or traps, or you don't think they have Nib, you add this and it's a spell negate, and it's not once per turn. So you add the Mace, discard the Mace to negate a spell and trap, and then you can go in your combo, you can trigger him to come back, because he comes back anytime the card is destroyed by a card effect, right? So you come in him back, and then you pop him with your cards, and then he'll add back the Mace, so you can negate another spell or trap. IP never made it. I mean, I guess you can sometimes, but it's just there. SP, you really need it to play around Nib, so that's why it's either usually end on this or this, if you have Nib, which saved me a lot a couple times. I played a Dark. I used to play Lina before I made concessions with the last couple cards, and I never summoned this card. There's no Snake Eyes, no Dark cards. I played 2 Malice, but never came up, and I do regret not playing Lina. I cut it. Either when I nib them or you nib me, and that's a light token. I Mace is a light, but Lina came up because there's so much Fiendsmith in the format, and this card was never makeable. And then the Selene access code, it's weird OTKs under barrier, and then if you're in a grind game, you can make this. That was what I'm saying, like if I had Lina, I could have went Lina into this, bring back Witch Search, and I full combo again. Like Dark was just unplayable. 1 Typhon, it beats Nib, and then it really helps when you're breaking the Rizual board. You like play through their stuff, and then when you break everything, you just slap this on, you attack over the duo drive, bounce the detonator, and then you set all your spell and traps, and you just play on their turn. And then the concession card is, because Baguska is kind of a problematic card, because you're playing a fusion deck, I played Ultimate Slayer on the side, so I need to make a concession, and I did not regret this, because it came up, when I drew it, it was crazy. And then for the side, I played 3 Parelia, 1 Ogre, 1 Nib, and that was the reason for the 1 Mourner. Like when Mourner was bad, Ogre went in, or like the 3rd Nib, like it was only for Malice or like crazy decks, I guess, because you don't want to brick on it, but like Malice has a hard time outing Nib, so that's why I played that. The 3 Ulti Slayer, it was strictly for Rizual, and then for going first, I had 1 Call by the Grave because of Shifter. I had 1 Fracture Dance. I cut the combination card. I don't know if you guys know what that is. It's a continuous spell that like negates, like it's Apo, but it negates on field, and everyone was playing Ogre. You can't get to it if they hand trap you all the time, and then you need the big guy on the field where this card doesn't. So I made a concession of just cutting that card for this, and this card is really good. I enjoyed popping a Sangan Summoning and then popping a Chandra, so I don't regret that choice. And then the final cards is 2 Thrust, a Barrier, a Threatening Roar, and a Daruma Cannon. Unfortunately, I had to make a concession. His siding was hard. I only played 2 Thrust. D-Bear obviously is for Rizual, Threatening Roar is for Tempai, and this has overlapping, like if you want, so instead of playing 3 Thrusts, if you don't brick on this, like if you open one, you set the other, this has overlapping thing, but this is really for Malice. It's a Link Climb deck, Daruma Cannon, and I guess Snake Eyes too, so it has more implicability, so that was the side.
Nice. Yo, thank you so much for the explanation. Congrats again on top 32, and hopefully higher next time.
Yeah, hopefully. Break the curse to top 32. I've top 32 the last 3 events, and I bricked all 3.
Oh man, you're gonna break that curse soon, man.
Yeah, hopefully.
Until next time, everyone.
All right, thanks.